All right. Hello and welcome everyone to PSGL. This is the Season 30 Championship and we're here for round 13 of the United States Grand Prix. This is the F8 division and we're ready to go as we hit the Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas. All right, so let's take a look at the information for the track before we get into the racing itself. We got 20 turns to make up a circuit length of 5.5 kilometers. That's 3.4 miles long. There's also 2 DRS zones to help encourage overtaking, one down the pit straight, up the hill to turn 1, and on the back straight as well, down to the tricky left-hander at turn 12. So with the information aside, let's get into the Grand Prix here today as we approach qualifying and the Grand Prix as well. And in the commentary booth, it's myself, Formula Jonah, and joining me as well is Logan. Welcome, Logan, to the United States Grand Prix and to the F8 division. How are you looking at this Grand Prix as you come into your first race here in F8, commentating with me?
First of all, I just want to say, James, what happened to your accent? You went from English to American.
Oh, you mean Jonah?
Yeah, because the joke is, that didn't start well, did it? The joke is that I'm normally commentating with James Head, but unfortunately, F3 got cancelled, so I've been relegated to F8. But yeah, it's great to be here tonight. I recognise some good old names here. Robin Wes, Felix 1, and Debo Izilari. Let's see what the standings have to say. Our current championship leader by 18 points is Epiloader. If I've said that right, please let me know.
Yeah,
thank you. 18 points ahead of him is teammate, which is Slash in 73. 1 point behind him is Ruben in the Red Bull, who's won twice this season. In fact, Epiloader's got one less race win than Slash and Ruben. They're on 2, and Epiloader's on 1. Yarno is on 58 in the McLaren with 1 win under his belt, and that's his only podium, I should mention. Also with 1 win and 52 is Chris Hallett. Milan, who got promoted, we don't talk about him, unfortunately, because he's not in the league anymore. Oh, by the way, I missed Oesi, sorry. He's in 7th with 3 podiums and 46 points. And in 9th we have Francie with 36. And Debo Izilari on 34. And he is back after a long absence tonight, I should mention. We've got some drivers on track, don't we, Jonah?
yes, we do. We definitely do. We have a lot of drivers out there out on track. Ruben in the Red Bull. I'm curious to see what he's going to be doing. And you mentioned that championship as well. It's coming down to the final 3 races of the season. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. But before we get underway, Logan, I want to say thank you so much for joining me in the commentary booth. I'm so excited to get our commentary underway. And viewers, thank you so much for joining us as well. Send in some comments on the PSGL United States Grand Prix if you have any questions, predictions, and anything you want to ask us down in the comments below. That's where all that stuff goes. Also, if you're new to the PSGL channel, please make sure to subscribe, not just to see F8 content, but all of the other content as well. And like this video, that would very much help us out. So, no one has set a lap time. And speaking of lap times, we got to talk about that. As we approach F8, I know you commentate F3, but you've seen a few of the streams, I'm assuming. So what are you thinking about lap times? What are we thinking we're going to see from some of these drivers? Like a 130, like a low 130, maybe a high 129 even for pole position?
Yes, possibly. We've got some 131s on the board right now. Ruben, who is third in their championship, 1 point off the second place Williams driver of Slash. He sets the time of 131.1, half a second ahead of Felix 1, but I do assume that will fall very quickly indeed, as we see Chris Chi, who's actually invalidated, unfortunately. But we do have Debo. Oh no, Debo's actually invalidated as well. Who is on the lap? I think Slash is on the lap. Yes, the second place man in the championship. Coming through the final few corners now. Approaching turn number 2 and 20. And he will cross the line. Actually, no, this is just an invalidated, not an invalidated lap. He backed off lap. He's going to go again. He's on the medium tyres, so I assume he's probably going to start on the mediums if he can get a good enough time in. Remember, top 10, you must start on the tyre you set your fastest lap with. The bottom, anyone below the top 10, they get a free choice. But that is going to change for the next season because, of course, the real-life regulations will let you give you a free choice of tyres regardless of how you did in qualifying. So that's to look forward to in the future. But for now, James, we have some times flooding in. We've got 9 right now and 12 minutes to go.
Yeah, a few times on the board. Looking forward to seeing what these drivers are going to be doing in terms of strategy as well. We have a few drivers on the medium compound tires. Slash down in P9. Let's see what he can do. He hasn't really set a, I'd say, competitive lap time. It was more of that cooldown lap like you mentioned. Let's see what he can do as he comes down to turn 12. That heavy braking zone gets right in between that curb as he comes down into that braking zone. Exits really nicely, gets a little bit too much of the power, but it's all good for the Williams driver as he comes through purple sector in sector 2 as he comes through that really tricky left-hander that is a down, then an uphill into the triple right-handers all the way around to the final 2 corners of the track. Turn 19 is coming up, and those where those drivers can go wide and get an invalidation very easily, but thankfully Slash does not, gets right between that curb and has a very good exit out of turn 19, hits the curb very nicely in the exit of turn 20 as he comes to the line now. It is only P6, but he is fastest overall of the medium compound runners, so that's good for Slash. A 132.6 and ahead of his teammate El Piloto in P7 as the Williams lock out 6th and 7th on the grid. So looking good as they approach the final few moments of qualifying. So we're pretty much coming in to where these times are going to matter quite a bit, because we're going to see drivers pushing quite hard once they get to the 8-minute mark, I'd say. Because right now, this is where these drivers are kind of going into it, and they're kind of going like, okay, where can we go? Or is this kind of like a cooldown lap? And then they're going to kind of review that data, go into the pit lane, and they're going to go out for another possibly 1 to 2 laps again to set their official lap time. So I definitely think this is not the main lap time by a lot of these drivers.
Yes, of course, you can see a great gap between the fastest soft and the fastest medium. It's currently 1.5 seconds, but I'm sure that's going to fall anytime soon. Here, that was a bank a lap from Slash. Of course, 10.5 minutes ago. Oodles of time to go as he is making his way, I believe, to his in-lap. A bit of a lull in the action. I do see Hydraff in our Alfa Romeo, originally Sauber. Fun fact of the day, if you're not from pre-2018 Formula 1 like me, making his way into, I should say, out of the DRS zone and probably the slower section of attack, Sector 3. Well, yeah, this is Sector 3, there we go. And he's actually got a purple Sector 2, but I assume that's probably a glitch. That is being reported, by the way, by to Codemasters about certain glitches. Unfortunately, games are not going to be perfect like it or not. As he makes his way around the third to last corner now. Turn 19, and he doesn't go wide, which a lot of people actually do. And he uses as much as he can to get at the final corner and just barely keeps on the track. And he goes second, Jonah. That's a pretty impressive time, a 1:51.5 from Hydraff in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, really impressive lap time there. He puts it right ahead of his teammate as well. So Alfa Romeo qualifying 2nd and 3rd right now. So looking really strong is Hydraff in the Alfa Romeo. I do believe he's reserving for the team right now, as Giro is usually in that Alfa. But yeah, looking really strong. But Ruben's lap time is still the fastest lap time right now, a 1:31.112, and he is ahead by 0.4 of a second to Hydraff. And I think if Hydra didn't mess up that final turn, I think he might have been like into a 1:31.3. I think that's kind of where he would have been if he didn't make that little mistake. So maybe just showing what could have been and what can be as we head into the moments of qualifying. So we approach 7 minutes remaining of the session. A lot of action coming our way once we hit that 7-minute mark. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, as I did mention, we have 3 rounds remaining of the PSGL Season 30 Championship. We're here at the United States Grand Prix here in Austin, Texas. Texas, a magnificent city. It truly is awesome to be racing here.
City? Texas?
Yeah, the city. Texas. Oh, sorry. Oh my goodness. I said city. I meant Austin. Sorry. The state of Texas. Thank you so much for the correction.
Here, guys.
So yeah, the city of Austin. That's what I meant to say. Absolutely amazing city. It's incredible to be racing here. And actually, the track is not too far away from Austin City. Austin is also the capital of Texas. Fun fact about that. And it's known for its fantastic live music and is a famous city alongside the likes of San Francisco and New York. But yeah, super excited to be racing here in Austin, Texas for the United States Grand Prix. We're also going to be heading over to Imola for the Italian Grand Prix in just a bit, or Emilia Romagna Grand Prix as we actually call it. And then round off the season in Bahrain, just 3 rounds remaining and 3 amazing tracks we're heading to as we head to the US, Bahrain, and Italy.
Yes, I honestly think that Bahrain should be the season finale for Formula 1 in the real world. It's much better than Yas Marina. Well, it's much better now, Yas Marina, but it's always been much better than Yas Marina. Sakir, of course, Sakir hosts the opening round of the season now, which I honestly don't like because it's logistical reasons. But yes, we have lots of drivers coming on the track. 7 minutes to go. Epilota is now relegated to 4th as Girone goes up to 4th with 131.579. Scratch that. OSE goes up to 3rd with 131.4. PLX, I think that's how you say it, or Plax, I'm not sure. But anyway, he is up to 2nd in the Haas, the home team for this event, I should say, although the car, by the looks of it, doesn't really dictate that. Now they'll change it next season. His teammate Artur Mello is making his way around Sector 3 right now, 1:10. He's not set a time on the board yet. Debo is going to have to go again. He is invalidated. And Chris Chi also there, making his way to the second DRS zone. As Ruben has pit, he's not happy with his lap time.
Yeah, and Artur Mello coming around the final turn now. Let's see what he can do in the Haas. He comes to the line now. It is a 132.1, so he's a little bit further down, I'd say. I think he's going to have to improve on that time. And remember, Artur Mello qualified on pole in Singapore last time out. He failed on order due to the safety car coming out, and that strategy really didn't work out for the then Ferrari driver. But yeah, I think he's definitely going to want to go out again. But the thing is, around here and around most tracks, qualifying 11th is not too bad because you can start on whatever tire you choose and you'll be the first to do so. So if you qualify 11th, where Artur Mello is right now, it might be really good, and especially for this track because tire degradation is very high. The tires do degrade quite a lot compared to other circuits. It's much more. So expect drivers probably pitting around lap 7 onto another compound of tires if you qualify on the soft compound tires. Right now, everyone is on the sauce. So expect drivers probably to pit around lap 7 onto like a medium or a hard compound tire. But if you can take those tires to around lap 10, then you might be able to go to the mediums and try and take it to a soft medium strategy. A one stop could be the option for drivers, but if not, a soft hard is a strategy as well as the two stop. That could work out. And of course, safety cars and rain could hit the track as well. Although Texas is not known for rain, it can rain here sometimes. So yeah, we are approaching the final few moments of qualifying. Ruben still has the fastest lap time, but as you mentioned, Plex in the Haas, currently P2 with a 131.2. And we were talking to him in the Singapore Grand Prix race, in the post-race interviews, and he said that he had a poor qualifying in Singapore, and yeah, it wasn't really the day for him. He said he had a lot more pace. That's not the actual quote of what he said, but, you know. So I think Plex might be able to qualify, maybe even on pole position today. He's got a chance of being up there. And I mean, he's currently P2, just a 10th behind Ruben's lap time. And if he can improve by around 0.3 of a second or so, that'll safely put him onto pole position. But of course, there's a lot of drivers out there looking to improve on their times, looking to go out for another lap. Of course, Ruben hasn't really set more than one lap, I'd say. He only set one lap, and that was at 31.1.
Yeah, I'm checking the race director now. Yeah, he's only set one lap, one full lap on that soft tire, one of the soft tires, and he's had a... Yeah, I think he's invalidated. No, he's not invalidated, he's just backed off, I think. So he hasn't really done much to ruin his time, you'd have to say. So, and he hasn't done much to improve his time, as some drivers are already coming out a little early, I'd have to say. Yep, all coming out of the pits right now. There's 3 minutes left. This is our last chance saloon for these drivers to get a nice time in and possibly put themselves high up the grid for a good chance to win tonight's race. as there's no one on the lap. Everyone's coming out to play, and it's going to be a game of chicken. And who's going to go first? Who's going to go last? Who's going to, in the queue? Because, of course, you don't want to be too close to the drivers in front, as that might ruin your lap times, and you might ruin theirs by accident if you accidentally run into them.
Yeah, you're right. You want to be in clear air. You want to make sure that you have the space ahead to be able to be fast through the corners. On the straights, you can get the slipstream, but yeah, we'll see. And you mentioned who will be first. Well, that's Felix 1 in the Alfa Romeo, who's coming down to turn 1 now. Let's see what the Alfa Romeo driver can do. Sector 1 is where drivers can make mistakes. Hopefully this goes well for Felix 1 as he actually aces the first couple of turns, goes a little bit wide, and that might affect his exit. Actually, it doesn't. He gets a really nice exit, and Felix 1 rotating the car really nicely through the entire Sector 1, and this could be even a top 3 finish for Felix 1 if he keeps up this performance. A few drivers going out on laps now. Everyone is pretty much out on track. The only driver in the pit lane is Artur Mello, and I don't know if he's going to have a chance to go out again. De Beausoleil down in P17. We know his pace. He's got a lot of pace in that AlphaTauri car. We've seen it from previous sessions. He's back today, and he's ready to qualify up there. But let's see what he can do. He hasn't set a lap time quite yet in this session, but hopefully he'll be able to do so. Same with Luca Rosman as well, who had a difficult race in Singapore, but is looking to come back stronger here in the US. So Felix 1 going purple in the second sector. Felix 1 absolutely flying through the first 2 sectors of the Circuit of the Americas. And let's see what the Alfa Romeo driver can do, as this is his final lap, his final attempt for him to set a good enough lap time to possibly be up onto the pole position. Let's see what he can do. Currently down in P7 is Felix 1. He comes to the line now, gets a really nice exit, as he is going to be P2 by just 2/100ths of a second there, and that was mad close between first and second position. The Alfa Romeo is only P2, but that was insanely close.
Insanely close is an understatement. That could have been his chance to swipe pole away from Ruben after all this time. He was the first to set a lap, but he might be having the last lap at this rate unless someone tries to top him. PLX has went off the track. That's the end of his chances. He won't be around in time to make another lap. OS, he's coming across the line, but he is... Actually, no, he's actually just backed off. I do apologise for that little scare. Clem Blade is crossing the line, and he does not improve. Who is the crossing the line now, Jonah?
I think it might be the Alpine of, I do believe, Nick Kenshin. Nick Kenshin's coming around the final couple of corners. Let's see what he can do. He qualified on pole in Austria. Can he qualify on pole here at the Circuit of the Americas here in the US? Round the final corner comes the Alpine, as he's only P9 at best. Can anyone else improve on their times? De Beausoleil goes third and goes with a 1:31.2. Very good lap time from the AlphaTauri. Puts himself up into the top 3 positions as we're just waiting for the final few drivers to come across the line. Jerome to the line hasn't validated his time. He's not improving anytime soon. Robin West has also invalidated. It's a horrible qualifying session for Aston Martin. A final horrible qualifying session, as unfortunately they're down the order. But what can Slash do? The driver that won the previous race in Singapore, currently down at P15. Can he qualify pole? Yes, he can! By just a few 100ths of a second. Sorry for shouting in the mic, viewers, but that was absolutely incredible by Slash to the line, a 1:30.6.
Here comes Ruben coming around the final corner. He's not going to get it. He goes faster. I think that I saw a Haas or an Alfa Romeo in the way at one of the corners, and I think that might have put him off and cost him pole, perhaps. Horrible luck, and I think that's the session over, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, I think that's it. Slash has slashed the pole away from Ruben at the last moment. After not setting a time, struggling to set a time, he has got pole. There's actually one driver left, Hydra Raff, but he's nowhere near the pace of Slash and Ruben, so he will have to do, and he's actually went wide, so that will be the end of his chances. But it is Slash on pole for the race here in Austin tonight. Wow.
Wow, what a qualifying session, and what an end to it as well. We were literally screaming at the top of our lungs because we saw Slash come out of absolute nowhere and qualify on pole. What a lap from the Williams driver. A 1:30.626 is the pole position lap time for Slash. He won the last race in Singapore. He now qualifies on pole here in the US. Can he win again and solidify his chances of being champion here in F8? in this season?
We'll have to find out because we are about to get underway with the race in just a few moments. Just to remind you, this broadcast is brought to you by our good friends at Grid Rival, a fantasy series that makes your motorsport league more exciting. That means Formula One, and I think they might do NASCAR as well, do they?
I think so.
I'm not checking tonight. I hope they do, because it wouldn't be fair if they didn't. But yes, great pole time from Slash. Can he convert it into a win like he did last week? We'll have to wait and see in the next the next hour or so. We are doing 28 laps tonight, so it's going to be a long slog, I have to say.
Yes, it's going to be a long race, but an exciting one at that. I think these drivers will be going at it.
And the session finally ends. So let's view our leaderboard and our starting grid for the race tonight.
Yeah, so here's the results for the United States Grand Prix, and Slash does qualify on pole, and yeah, this is the grid order like you mentioned. Slash P1 for Williams, followed by Ruben in the Red Bull qualifying P2, with Felix 1 in P3 for Alfa Romeo. It's an AlphaTauri 4th and 5th position as both AlphaTauris qualify in the top 5. Plex in P6, Hydrograph in P7 for Alfa Romeo, both Alfa Romeos in the top 7, looking really strong. Jerome P8 for Aston Martin, as El Piloto, the championship contender, in P9. The Red Bull qualifies P10 with Nick Kenshin just in P11. Will be starting on the fresh tires. Then Klemblid, Robin West, Artemella, and the rest of the grid as we head into the race itself. And I gotta ask the question, Logan, what are we thinking for this upcoming Grand Prix? Any predictions as we head into these 28 laps of the United States Grand Prix?
Well, I just hope everyone has a good race. I honestly don't know what to expect because, of course, I've never done this division before, and I'm sure you'll forgive me on that. But yes, we could see some exciting racing here at Austin. Austin always usually delivers in not just real racing, but league racing as well. So a lot to look forward to in the upcoming 40 minutes we have here. 28 laps of the Circuit of the Americas, as we said, 5.5 kilometers long, 20 turns, and a lot of action to be had here. There's a lot of overtaking spots, probably at turn 1. Maybe that turn 15 there's a rogue corner, a rogue ask for its overtake there. I've seen it done a lot there before, so just watch out for that corner. But yes, a exciting track is probably an understatement.
Yeah, I guess it is. You know, this track is awesome. You know, I absolutely love the Circuit of Americas. It is a great track. It provides a lot of action, a lot of overtaking, and the strategy as well is pretty incredible. But if you look at the skies, viewer, direct your attention to the skies as we see no clouds in the sky. It's a clear day here in Austin, Texas, as we head into the race now. And a few things before we head into the Grand Prix. I do want to remind you all to subscribe to PSGL to see more content like F8. And if you are truly enjoying the stream, definitely like this video as well. That would be much appreciated. And also send in your comments, your predictions, your questions. Let us know down in the comments if you have anything to say. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll try and respond as best as possible. So, let's look at the grid. We have a few drivers on the mediums. As expected, the bottom 10 do qualify on the medium compound tires. They choose to do so, except Francie and Luca Rosman, both drivers on the softs. Let's see what they can do. I'm curious, because they're going to be qualifying in the back of the grid. They might be able to get ahead of those medium compound runners. And yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. I did a race recently, just yesterday at the US Grand Prix, and I qualified on the mediums. And went long on the medium compound tires and actually worked out really well. So maybe these medium compound runners could be able to get in a good position and try and go long on those tires.
Yeah, we could be seeing that tonight. So as just a reminder, the top 10 are on the softs. They have to be. Well, they could have set mediums, but they all went softs. 11th to 15th going mediums. 16th and 17th, Francie and Rosman going soft. Very interesting, but we'll see if it pays off for them. It is, of course, the risky choice, but you never know. We have seen stranger things, of course, especially in PCF1, where Nicholas Longe was not happy with Jarno Altmaier, but with a collision, and he apparently left the league over that, which is quite a shame. I think a bit ungentlemanly, I have to say, but you know, the stewards can't please everyone. But yes, all the drivers coming through Sector 3 right now, so very tense time for these drivers. They've got to get the tyres warmed up, of course, to a substantive temperature, the optimal temperature. Make sure they've got enough good grip for the race today. Of course, these tyres are probably going to wear out for a minute there. I looked at the camera and I thought that car was having a puncture. It's probably my PS4 though, but yes, we're about to get started, Jonah. Everyone, fasten your seatbelts. This is going to be a bumpy ride at Six Flags, Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, a lot of action coming our way, viewers. Get ready for this one. Let's get ready for the 28 laps of the United States Grand Prix. Logan, I'm so excited to be commentating with you. It's going to be an amazing Grand Prix.
I hope so.
Yeah, we'll see how this works out. Well, we got 17 drivers on the grid. Slash on pole. Can he win from there? Let's see. Ruben and Slash had a great battle in Singapore. Let's see how that can work out today. Remember, Kimi Räikkönen back in 2018 got ahead of Lewis Hamilton from second on the grid and eventually won the Grand Prix. Could Ruben do that here today? We will find out. So up the hill, we're going to head as we head down to turn one, or in this case, up, I guess, as we approach the 5 red lights, and we're just waiting for those to come out. And there they are. It is 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, and it's 5 lights as we go here in Austin, Texas. It's lights out, and away we go. It's a great start for the front runners. A great start for Slash. He leads us the way. Is Ruben going to try and challenge him down to turn 1? No, Slash defends the inside line. Ruben, though, going on the inside. He has the traction off of turn 1, but the Red Bull has to slot in right behind Slash. Leads us away. Down the order, we have three different drivers battling for position. There's a Haas, an Alpha, and an AlphaTauri as well, as we have Felix 1 and Plex side by side for a moment there. De Blosler is down to P6. He lost the position, but Aussie up to P3. What a great start by the AlphaTauri driver, as we have, I think, a driver moving down position. That's Robin West up to P15. Luca. Oh, there's a crash. What happened?
It's Franti and Klemblad. They're both spun at turn number 10, and that has sent them to the back of the pack. Franti was the biggest winner in that start. Until that point, he gained 3 positions, but he has lost them all now. Artemello right on the side of Robin West, heading down to turn 12, and joining them is Luca Rosman, who's already made up 3 positions, and they're going 3 wide into turn 12. And Luca Rosman trying to get past Artemello, make that 3 positions gained a 4. And he's going around the outside of turn 14, and he makes the move stick, and into 14 he goes, and he was going to go for Robin West like he tried to do at the DRS, or the long straight leading up to turn 12. Anywhere else on the track is right near him, and remember, he is on the soft tire, so he does have the advantage here at Texas right now. Of course, he started on the soft right at the back, but this is Lash starting the second lap of the race now.
Yeah, here we go, down to turn 1, as these drivers will continue on as Luca Rosman and Robin West continue their battle. They've had a great one. Luca Rosman stays ahead of the Aston Martin for now, though, as Francie is actually out of the Grand Prix. He's retired already. A difficult start for the McLaren driver. But yeah, Slash leads us away by 0.5 of a second to Ruben in P2. Great start by Slash. He defended well against Ruben. Ruben tried everything, but I think Slash just defended really well, and so he kept the position. But DRS is going to be enabled soon, Logan, so let's see what happens here, as these drivers will have that long stretch of road on the back straight as we come to that with the front runners, and Ruben will have that opportunity to make the move on Slash once we approach the next lap.
Yes, I'm looking down the field right now to see if they've got any close battles going on. No, it looks like an orderly fashion going towards turn number 12. No moves being gone for into that turn. It's still Slash that leads Ruben and OSE, I think they say it, as Felix 1, PLX, and Devil, the top 6. Coming through the final sector, Klemblad trying to catch up 6 seconds behind 15th place Julio, who is in 15th. It's going to be a long race ahead, so Slash has got to keep his cool as he about to start lap 3 after these final 2 corners, as Ruben tries to close the gap. And with lap 3 about to begin, I can happily say DRS is now enabled.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and now we're going to see how fast that Red Bull is in a straight line. Ruben has got a really good setup for around here, so I'm assuming he's going to have the pace to catch up to Slash But the great thing is for Slash is that he's got a really good setup as well. So could Ruben try and make that move down the DRS stretch? He's actually got really close to the Williams driver into Sector 1. He might have an opportunity on this lap, and he might want to do this as soon as possible, get past Slash, and then try and break away that gap between the Williams driver and the Red Bull. So coming down to turn 11 now, Ruben has to get the perfect exit out of this corner, as it is a perfect exit for Ruben. It's actually a very good exit for the Red Bull driver, as Julio gets a 3-second time penalty as we speak of this. DRS is now enabled. This is the battle for the race lead on lap 3. Ruben's gonna go to it. To the inside line we go. Slash versus Ruben. Down to turn 12, and Ruben pulls to the inside, then the outside, and gets the position, and up into P1. Ruben gets ahead of lap 3 and takes over as race leader. Meanwhile, Oesi and Felix 1 having a great battle here for third position. This is for the podium as well, as we have Plex in the fight as well. The AlphaTauri and the Alfa Romeo side by side. A little bit of wheel baiting there as Plex is trying to make this a three-way fight for third position right now. Oesi trying to get back past Felix 1. He's going to have the DRS. He's going to have the opportunity down to turn length. So let's find out what he can do. And Plex is right there as well. Same with the Bosler. It's a massive fight for P3, and it is absolutely epic to watch.
Plex has a fantastic run out of the final corner. He's right next to Oesi, going for fourth place into the first turn. And Felix 1 just up ahead, but Oesi's not finished him yet. He's going to try and defend his position on the outside. And they're still side by side going into turn number 2. They keep it contact free heading into the S's section. Very fast section. You've got to be careful not to make a mistake, or it could ruin your race. As Oesi backs off from PLX, he has to settle for 5th place right now. Plex up into 4th, now chasing Felix 1, who is now 2 seconds behind. They're scrabbling, I have to say, has increased their gap to the top 2. Ruben and Slash, half a second behind is Slash and Ruben, but yes, they've got to try and speed up a bit, or these two might run away with it.
Yeah, they have to, but I think they're just enjoying this battle right now, as here comes Plex as well on Felix 1. This is for the battle for third position. Oesi and Bosler in the fight as well. Here goes Plex, and down the inside goes the Haas driver, and up into the third position. Oesi now trying to get the move as well on the Alfa Romeo of Felix 1. Bosler and the second Alfa Romeo of Hydra Raf is in the fight as well. This is absolutely phenomenal to witness here, as the AlphaTauri of Oesi is going for the move down the inside. Into turn 17 we go. Oesi trying to keep this going, but Felix 1 has got the position, and Bosler is right there as well. You can see how close he is to his teammate, and these two are working really well together to try and hold off the rest of the pack, but also try and make those moves for third position here. But this is incredible now. This is absolutely phenomenal action. But wow, they've been battling for now 4th position. Plex is starting to gain that time and get ahead, and he might join the fight for 1st position anytime soon.
Yes, he might. There's another battle between Epilauder and Christie. Oh, Christie's in the wall! No, Epilauder's in the wall, sorry! Epilauder, our championship leader, has spun around, and this is the chance for Slash to make a massive gain in points and possibly start a title race with 2 rounds to go. He's fallen all the way down to 15th. That's squabbling with Jerome. I think it was Jerome.
Yeah, I do believe so.
Has cost him a lot of points, perhaps, as the leading pack move into turn number 11 and into the DRS straight again. I think the gap's too much for Slash to cut down on Ruben and try and take the position, but Devil's right behind Oesi, going for 5th place right now. I do think Felix 1 is too far ahead. Is Devil's going to go for a move? Yes, he is on his teammate. A massive dive into turn 12, and he makes it stick. No reply from Oesi. He's going to have to stick in 6th. No move into turn 14. It looks like Devil is running clear right now.
Very good move from the AlphaTauri driver, and he moves himself up into 5th position now on his teammate as well. So Bosler up into P5, and now has the opportunity to make the move on Felix 1 and get his AlphaTauri into the battle for the podium as well, as Slash is much closer to Ruben this time out. DRS is now going to be enabled for the Williams driver. He's gaining a bit of time, but Ruben has got some serious straight line speed on the straight and will keep ahead of the Williams driver. Going back to the championship as well. That is incredibly unfortunate and heartbreaking for LP Lothar in the Williams car. That is going to severely hurt his championship hunt, and now I think if Slash maintains his position, he will take over as race leader of the championship by what it stands in the championship. So this is quite interesting. One Williams spun, and now that means that LP Lothar's championship rival Slash is now going to be possibly taking over as championship leader here. And the funny part is their teammates as well. They're teammates and they're battling for the championship, kind of like Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton, as de Beausoleil makes the move on Felix 1. The AlphaTauri has got it already as he made the move on his teammate Alessi, and now it's up into 4th position. But we have to keep an eye on the battle for 8th position as well, as we have a great one going on with Jerome, Hydra Raff, and Krishy as well, as the Red Bull's going to try and go around the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact. Alessi's forced wide.
And I think that was that Krishy or Hydra Raff? I can't remember, but Krishy has got into 7th now. Jerome going to the inside. I'm giving him a tug on turn 15, and there's a bit of squabbling going through there as they make their way through the triple header around the 3rd and last corner. Yes, that is not good news if your name is Oesi. He's fallen all the way down to 10th. Now, has he got damaged? No, by the looks of it. He just got spun round and, of course, disorientated. So he is now down to 10th as Huli gets another penalty. I think that's his 2nd of the day. So he's not only the first to get 1, he's the first to get 2, which is not what you want in these situations. Of course, with this being only the 7th lap, he's got to be careful. He might get disqualified, as the gap increases now between 2nd and 3rd to nearly 3 seconds. Plex has got a lot of catching up to do. If he doesn't get too involved in the squabbling, he can try and run clear, or just hope that Ruben and Slash duke it out a little too much over the top, and that lets Plex close the gap.
Well, you know, de Beausoleil is actually also in that fight for the win as well. If he gets past Plex here, and he's been on a roll making overtakes, he might be able to join the fight for P1 here as he's got the DRS. Could he go for a send like on his teammate? Let's see how this works out for de Beausoleil. He's gonna go for it to the inside line. Down to turn 12 we go. Plex and de Beausoleil side by side, and it is a good move for de Beausoleil. He moves himself up into the podium positions, and now the AlphaTauri can push and start chasing after Slash and Ruben, and this is going really well for de Beausoleil right now. This is absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal indeed. Devil and Plex battling for that last podium spot. I know it's only a quarter of the race through, but these moves could be crucial, and where you finish. Positions to be one of Russia. Oh, and bad news for Hydra Raff. He's lost connection to the session. It's already falling down the order as Luca Rosman goes wide trying to pass him. That's not what you want to do. That will lose you a bit of time. He's already up to 8th by the moment after starting, I think it was dead last. Yeah, dead last. There's only one Luca Rosman, I have to say, as Plex closing into Devil, going for the 3rd place right now. But he just can't get close now. Hydra Raff has joined the session once again, so he's back in the running. But he's fallen all the way down to 10th, and he's lucky not to lose that position. Actually, no, scratch that. He's lost the 10th position, and now he's out at the point. Not what he wants, and now he's got to bring all that back up as soon as he can. And he's on the softs too, and they're starting to degrade. And I've lost my timings. That's not pretty good. Back to you, Jonah.
Yeah, a lot of action going on right now, and this is phenomenal. This is just absolutely phenomenal racing right here between all these drivers. Ruben leads us away by Slash, as Slash might have the opportunity to go for the move on Ruben in the Red Bull. Let's see if the Williams is going to go for it. No, he is not, as Plex and de Beausoleil swap positions now. Plex up into P3 now as the Haas makes the move on the AlphaTauri. It's a good move by the Haas driver, and I saw a few comments that came in on questions on where was Jarno and the others that are racing. Well, that Jarno is in the PC F1 tier, and this is the PlayStation tier, so they're two different systems, and they're two different divisions. So this is the F8 division on PlayStation, the 8th division in the PlayStation tier, and Jarno and the rest of those guys are all fighting in the number 1 tier in PC. So hopefully that cleared up your question there for whoever commented in or comment in the comments there. As we have de Beausoleil into the pit lane on lap 9. Same with Jerome as well. Pit stops are happening, viewers. Let's see as we get to the action with Logan. What are you seeing out on your screen?
Looker and Clemblin have got 3 second time penalties for overstepping the mark on some corners. That is going to be added to their race time at the end of this session. They can't get it removed, unlike a 5 second penalty for speeding in the pit lane or such things like a drive-through penalty. They have to be added at the end of the race. The closest battle I see right now is, I think, Christie and Felix 1. Felix 1 currently in 4th place right now, an 8-lap old softs. Also is Christie. Yes, but the two undercutters here, Devil and Jerome, trying to get one up on Plex, who is probably going to have to pit this or the next lap. He might have to run long if this is the case. If he feels like he can run long, he can always do that. But now the gap is starting to close. Slash going for the lead. This is crucial. And he just breezes past Ruben, and into the lead he goes once again.
Wow, what a move from Slash. He had that very controlled, and he got up in the P1, so that puts Slash back into the lead of the United States Grand Prix, but Ruben is not going to let this position go anytime soon. He's going to chase after Slash, and now this might be the perfect opportunity for Ruben to go for the undercut strategy and try and pit now onto the medium compound tires and get ahead of Slash in terms of the pit stops now. So let's see how this works out. The question is, will Slash cover him off and go into the pit lane as well? Yes, they both go into the pit lane.
They both go into the pit lane, and this means everyone's going to have their eye on Devil. Oh my goodness, they almost run into each other going into the pit lane.
That was close.
That's not what you want at this point. They both come in, get a change to medium tires for Ruben as the order starts to shuffle. A lot of drivers coming in, Slash going on mediums as well, and... But, hold on. No, I thought he changed it. No, he's just ahead of Ruben. That means Robin Wes now takes the lead. And where is Devil in all of this? Devil is just heading up the hill, and he's not close enough to Ruben. He's actually, I think that, yeah, I don't think he's cut enough for the gap. The gap probably remaining the same as it were before. So Slash still ahead of Ruben, and they're both still ahead of Devil.
Well, you know, one person that's gained a lot of time and has gained a lot in the pit stop phase is Jerome in the Aston Martin. He has got ahead of Plex and Felix 1 as well. So the Aston Martin is technically in 4th position right now. So Jerome might be even going for the podium. We might be seeing him here in the interview box later on. But let's see what the Aston Martin can do. And like you said, DeBosler hasn't gained a lot of time. So that's unfortunate for the AlphaTauri. He's 2.9 seconds. As meanwhile, Slash gets ahead of Clemblin, and Ruben has to get past as soon as possible if he's going to chase after his rival in today's race, and his championship rival as well, as he's still in the hunt for the championship with Slash and LP Lothar as well. I think Jarno has dropped out of that zone as Ruben trying everything to try and get past that Mercedes, going for the switchback maneuver, the better traction out of that particular corner, and the Red Bull soars up into P8, and I think Clemblin is just struggling a little bit with tire wear, and that's why Ruben's got a lot more grip, as now we see LP Lothar letting past
But I seem to have lost you.
Oh, sorry.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, sorry. I think I accidentally hit my mute button on my microphone. Apologies for that, viewers.
Oops.
I think I was just explaining that that Ruben has got the better grip and ahead of Clemblin, and I think Slash has just got ahead of LP Lothar in the Williams there, yeah. And he's let him pass. Yeah, you let him through. That's quite interesting. So is this the team game now? Is LP Lothar gonna hold up the Red Bull? What do you think about that?
That would probably be a good move. Oh my goodness,
oh!
Me right behind, and this is not good. Ruben is going to be furious with this. He's backing him up, and now he's running right behind him. Can he get the move on him? Yes, he can, but what's Epilota going to do into... Oh, tiny touch into turn 12, and that is not going to be leaving Ruben a happy bunny. Tries to go on the outside. This is a nightmare for Ruben. Epilota changing from championship fighter to team fighter, and this is a horrible situation. If your name is Ruben, Slash is running absolutely clear. He's extended the gap to 3.2 seconds. It is insane. How 3.5 now. Ruben has he's falling behind. I think he might have damage.
He's got damage. He's got damage.
Yeah, coming in.
Oh no! Oh my goodness! I can't believe that.
And Ruben is going to be furious with Epiloder and the Williams team, as there's a lot of battles happening right now. Debo is going around Jerome, and Clemblade getting involved as well as he gets past Flick and Jerome. It's now heading into the S's, and Epiloder is running there too. He's going to have to pit soon. I don't know when. When is going to be? I'm not sure. Place your bet now as they all chase him. All the medium runners that pit, except Clemblade, who's yet to pit, and Rosman gets another time penalty. I think that's his second. Yes, it is his second. It's a shame because he was having a good start too. Well, that was because he was on the soft tyres, but he's fallen back down to 13th place, so the humble beginnings of 13th place. And Debo right on the back of Epiloder now. What's Epiloder going to do here? Surely he can't go for it again.
Oh, DeBozer's going to the inside. Not a lot of space, but he's going for the move. Oh. And that was close racing. A little bit of wheel baiting between the two drivers, but DeBozler makes the overtake, and that was really, really good. He was committed. He was courageous through turn 12, and DeBozler moves himself up into P6 now. Now here goes the Haas of Plex. Want to move from the Haas driver. He slots into P7 now and ahead of El Piloter, but I cannot believe what has just happened with Ruben there. That is incredibly heartbreaking, and I think the Williams team and the Red Bull team will be going at it here today, and they will be talking quite a bit of what just happened there, as it was a team game situation.
Yeah, Epiloder's just come in for mediums. He did 12 laps on those softs, longer than anybody, as he now makes his pit stop for the remainder of the race, the home stretch. 16 laps of medium tyres by the looks of it. Unless there is a safety car, he could always get a change, but this is going to throw him right down the order, of course, backing all those drivers up. And I think he's going to come out ahead of, oh dear, I can't believe I'm saying this, Ruben. And Felix 1 also came in as well. He must have had some damage. But yes, Ruben still behind Epiloder, and Epiloder's got the fresher tyres. So this is the worst case scenario if your name is Ruben.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking for Ruben. He's going to be a little bit frustrated, I think. That may have just ended his championship contention, and that might have just given Slash the trophy here. But anything can happen in league racing. We've seen it before in previous racing and in real life as well. So who knows what can happen as we head into the final few laps of the PSGL United States Grand Prix. There goes Slash on Julio to the inside line. Is Julio going to fight him back? A little bit of wheel damage there, possibly. Don't believe there's any wing damage for Julio there, as Slash will get ahead. But he had to get ahead, I think. I think he just wanted to get ahead of these drivers, and now he's got ahead of Julio. And next up is going to be Nick Kenshin and Artur Mello as well in the Haas, currently in P2. But let's see what Slash can do. He doesn't have any competitors near him that are going to be battling for the race victory. His nearest competitor in this race will be DeBozler. There is an Alfa Romeo. That's Felix 1. Off the track, what happened to Felix 1?
Yeah, he spun off at turn 14. This is just getting worse for him. I think he might just retire in the pits. I think he has nothing to gain now. Slash trying to get past Kenshin and Artur Mello, both on. And what's going on here? Felix 1 has spun off again, I assume because of the overheating tyres. He's really struggling. His tyres have overheated. He can't get anywhere. I think this is the end of his race. But let's see what's happening up the front. Slash right behind Kenshin. Surely he's going to have to get past him now.
He'll get past, yeah.
He absolutely breezes past Kenshin. And next will be Artur Mello. He actually get him here if he wants. But he don't think he's that foolhardy. And actually, no, Kenshin's trying to get back, but to no avail is to settle for 4th place at the moment. Slash pulling ahead right now as Felix 1 retires from the session. No surprise there. There's the dive from Artur Mello by Slash. And Slash now up to 2nd, but pretty much that is net lead as Robin Wes is yet to pit. He's been in the net lead for a while, I'd have to say. The gap is huge between him and Debo, though. And Debo, you know, he's going to have to play catch-up here, and he's going to have a lot of work to do. Not only does he have to try and catch up, he's also got to fend off Lex, Jerome, and Christie, amongst many others, just far behind. As I do see an incident. What's going on here?
I think it might be Felix 1's car.
Yeah, it's Felix 1's car, I do forget. I thought I got scared from it there. That was the leaders. As the does let past. the leading cars, the top 5 right now. Of course, the pit stops will have to say they're probably going to be pitting in 2 or 3 more laps as they make their way up through the S's. And now, turn number 10, Robin's lead has been slashed to under 3 seconds. Slash absolutely throwing it through turn number 10 and now into turn number 11. Oh, a bit of a swerve into turn 11. It's totally fine. It's looking good for Slash. I can't see anyone else getting close unless there is a safety car.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's going to be any other driver that's getting close. And like you said, unless the safety car comes out, as Ruben gets a 3-second time penalty, it's just getting worse for the AlphaTauri, or for the Red Bull driver, unfortunately. Ooh, huge lockup by Julio, as we saw Plex getting past the AlphaTauri and De Beausoleil, as it looks like Julio's going to let the 2 drivers pass, maybe due to the tire degradation on his tires. They are on a different strategy than the Ferrari driver. It makes sense why. But Plex up into P5, and technically, once the other drivers do come in the pit lane, this is the battle for second position, and Plex now moves himself up into what will be second place in this Grand Prix. So this is very interesting.
It is very interesting indeed, as Felix leaves the section entirely. All the drivers now on medium tyres, as you can see, and Hydra Raf and Ruben, I think Hydra Raf left the session again. That's unfortunate for him, as Jerome and Julio do battle for 7th place, and Jerome wins the battle, and Christie might be inflicting insult to injury to Julio if he gets past him anywhere here. I don't think he'll be doing that, and Christie cuts the corner again. He's already got a penalty. In fact, yes, he has a penalty, but Julio's got 9 seconds of penalties. He's been a free-peat, so you don't want to be doing that. Especially here on PSGL, where every second counts. And is Christie going to go for a move in turn 11, perhaps? No, he thinks better of it and stays behind, and he's probably going to go for it at the DRS zone as he approached turn number 12. Still now, 1.5 seconds. Slash has literally slashed the lead to Robin Rez, as Christie and Julio do dueling for 8th place. Remember, Julio, of course, is not pit yet. And Debo and Plex doing some battle, and Debo gets through into 5th place. And this is actually a net battle for second, really, because of course if we count out 3rd, 4th and the leader right now, Robin, then it's 2nd place, net second, going between Plex, Jerome and Debo. It's a massive train of cars here. It could be very interesting of how this ends up.
Yeah, it is going to be quite interesting. But as you said, it's Robin West does come into the pit lane. As we speak about pit stops and drivers pitting, we do see Robin West and Nick Kenshin into the pit lane now. So that's quite interesting. But now we're going to see the other drivers moving up into their respective positions. De Beausoleil up into 3rd, which will be 2nd once Artur Melo does come into the pit lane. And those drivers come out on the softs. And I want to ask you, what do you think about Robin and Nick Kenshin's strategy? Could they be going for possible P5 or something like that?
Oh, it's 1 second. Julio has spun off out of turn number 1, and he's lost his entire front wing, and he's going to have to bring that to the entire 5.5 kilometers of this Circuit of the Americas. And that is not good for Julio. I think that's the end of his race. He's pulling off to the side so he doesn't interfere. I applaud him on doing that. You don't want to get into the way with a broken wing and put drivers off. As now Debo right behind Artur Melo. And I actually think, Julio's caused another yellow flag. I do apologise for this, as Debo makes his way past Artur Melo, and now he'll be charging after Slash, with nothing but fresh air in front of him. It's a good situation to be in now. Plex has to get past his teammate. I'm sure Artur Melo's going to have to let him through, right? He does, and our Plex now properly into 3rd and chasing Debo now, and Artur Melo will have to pit soon. But yes, as we were saying, Robin West and Nick Kenshin now, I do remember Epiloader, he pitted after 12 laps on the softs. There are 12 laps remaining, well, make it 11, but when we get around right now, it's 12, as Artur Melo pits off camera. This is going to be crucial time, because I think Epiloader stretched him to the max. Remember, he did 13 laps, technically, because of course he had to do soft run for those tyres on the qualifying. And this is going to be an interesting situation if your name is Robin Wes and Nick Kenshin, you're going to have to stretch them to the limit. So please be careful with your tires. Tires compensation always important in PSGL. It's going to be interesting to see how they finish. Of course, these drivers, all the drivers except Julio, who started on mediums, have pit. Julio, of course, is yet to pit, and he's going to have to pit now. He's not only got new tyres, but a new wing as well. He's survived the onslaught of Circuit of the Americas without a front wing, as Slash has extended his gap to 4 seconds, and Julio, no surprise, has quit the session, as half a second separates Debo and Plex. Will there be any changes in 10 laps to go once they come around next time, Jonah?
I mean, it's possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Plex is just a little bit too far behind to make the overtake on DeBoisler. He'll have the opportunity probably on the pit straight, but we'll find out in a moment's time. But I want to go back to Robin West and then Aston Martin. Currently, 5.1 seconds. He's gained about a second to Luca Rosman. That is how fast Robin West is gaining time, and he's got the opportunity to make the move for P6 in today's race and possibly get into that fight for the top 5. But we'll find out once we head into the final few moments of this race. There is still a long ways to go. 10 laps remaining of the Grand Prix, and that's an eternity for some of these drivers out on the grid today, as we will see a lot of action still, and possibly even an entirely different race result when we come to the end of the Grand Prix. But I think one driver that will probably stay in the same position is Slash, who's absolutely dominating this race. 4.4 seconds is the gap to DeBoisler and himself. Slash is really doing a great job out there, and he's been really quick in the last 2 rounds. You know, Singapore, he won that Grand Prix off of Ruben, and then here today he's looking to take another race victory. That would be back-to-back wins for Slash, and solidifying his chances of becoming champion here in season 30 of the F8 division. But we're here in America, and we're racing with DeBoisler in P2 right now, and actually we're going to hop on board with the Haas driver of Plex, who was gaining a lot of time on DeBoisler. Let's see if he can go for the overtake, as he has the DRS. He's going to go to the inside line. Here comes the Haas. Here comes the AlphaTauri. These two continue their fight as Plex gets ahead. DeBoisler swaps to the other side of the track. He's going to try and make that overtake on Plex. Maybe try and get the better traction out of that corner. Into 14 and 15 we go. Plex stays ahead, though. DeBoisler down to P3. And now on lap 19, Plex gets ahead into second position. But is DeBoisler going to get ahead on the next straight?
Let's see what happens. There's 4 tenths separating the 2 drivers. The gap at the top now, 4.8. They might as well just compete for second place now, because as you can see, Slash is just running away from it right now. But let's see what happens. 4 tenths the gap now. Debo trying to close up, but it's not going to work. He's going to have to stay behind Plex. Nearly runs in the back of Plex. Got to be careful there, as now Christie on the back of your own, of course. So here we go. They come for the S's now. And Jonah, this is what I'm saying. You've got to keep it even between the S's, because, of course, the last thing you want is to go off the S's and pretty much ruin everything you've done and up to this point.
Yeah, you definitely have to keep it consistent through the Sector 1. It is a very difficult section of the track, and probably the most difficult corner sequence on this track. So, yeah, we'll see if these drivers can keep it consistent for the next 8 laps or so of the Grand Prix. But meanwhile, Robin West has closed the gap to OSE to 1.5 seconds. Robin West is flying out there. OSE trying to make the move on Luca Rosman. He cannot, though. I think there was... Oh, his Plex gets a 3-second time penalty. Plex has gotten a penalty, and that might just allow DeBoisler to get up into second and Jerome to get up into third.
Yes, indeed. They're getting very close to each other. Jerome and Christie getting involved too. It's anyone's game as they come through. Turn 18 now. And now turn 19, I should say. Don't make a mistake. 8 laps to go. The Slash crosses the timing line once again. Who's going to outburst who into turn number 1? Let's find out. Debo still closing up to Plex, who has a penalty, so this is good news for Debo. Oh, and he nearly runs into the back of it again. As no change in the picking order coming through turn number 1 as they come through turn number 2. Gap now 3 tenths, and Plex now needs to pretty much run as fast as he can. He is now the gingerbread man with that 3-second penalty. And he's just got to hope Debo makes a mistake, Jerome makes a mistake. I know it's not the way you want to win in sports, but You know, you want to try and force them into a mistake, perhaps? That would be probably the way to say it, but Devil now, 4 attempts, it's going away again, Jonah. Can he make a move here out of turn number 11 and into turn number 12?
He might be able to. The gap is 0.5 of a second. Let's see if he's going to be able to. He's got the ERS to spare, so he's going to try and make that move on Plex. Plex is defending. DeBozler, though, pulls to the inside, and Jerome might get the opportunity to make the move as well. DeBozler, a little bit of contact with the Haas, wheelbaiting between the two drivers as DeBozler gets ahead, and there goes Jerome as well. Jerome on the Aston Martin is trying to keep it going with this battle for third position now. Plex is trying to keep the position, but Jerome has got it. I think he might just get... Oh, but he spins a little bit. He spins a little bit and loses the car. He's now going to be under pressure from the Red Bull right behind, and now they're going to go side by side down to turn 19 in the final 2 corners of the track. Christian is now going to try and go for the move on the Aston Martin in P4 now. So we'll see if this goes well for Christian in the Red Bull as Jerome has got the DRS for the Red Bull right behind. Look at the speed from that Honda engine. He's going to send it to the inside. Yes, he is. He's going to go down the inside on the Aston Martin driver. And now Christian moves himself up into P4. Jerome down to P5, and that spin really compromised Jerome's exit, and he went from 3rd down to 5th now.
This is what happens when you make too many mistakes. You fall right down the order, and Jerome just pretty much did the equivalent of that, as there's 5.5 seconds now separating him and teammate Robin West, who's on the soft tyre, so he'll be catching up soon. But it's still Slash dominating this race, but there will be questions about what was Epiloda doing to Ruben. That cost Ruben the win, I have to say. Epiloda a bit too much in the defense, and you know what? They're right next to each other again. It's round 2.
It is, and there goes Plex down the inside of the AlphaTauri. Plex is going for it. DeBozler tries to keep the position. They go side by side down to turn 13, but DeBozler breaks a lot later than the Haas driver and tries to get ahead, and he does get ahead. Plex can't do anything to make the move on the AlphaTauri, and it will be going on to the 3rd battle here between these two drivers. On to lap 23 we go, and DeBozler leads away this battle for a 2nd position right now. Meanwhile, Slash has extended the gap to 6.1 seconds to DeBozler, so it's just looking even and even better for Slash in the Williams. And meanwhile, Robin West has got past Luca Rosman and OSC as well in the AlphaTauri and Mercedes. Robin West is now 4.9 seconds behind, and he might reach the battle for 2nd position towards the end of the Grand Prix. But the question is, will those tires die out before he gets there?
Well, that is probably the most important question of the race. Plex, and Jerome has a penalty as well. Music to Devil's ears, as he might keep his 2nd position. And actually, this might be music to Plex's ears, because
it will be.
Position. Unless someone else that's not got a penalty makes a huge charge, but I cannot see that happening. And Ruben and Epiloda are battling again. This rivalry is not over. I'm sure Ruben, and he's running to the back of him again. This is going beyond, across the line now. I cannot see them getting away without a penalty. As now Epiloda right in the back, Ruben right in the back, and Epiloda has backed off. I think I know what he's doing. He's trying to get the DRS. Epiloda, who's on a lap younger tyres than Ruben. No, Ruben's got the DRS. It's backfired. He didn't back out in time, and Epiloda is going to have to do it raw. Ruben has the DRS, which gives him a huge advantage, and Epiloda, not happy, is going to have to settle in 12th place. But remember, Ruben has a penalty now. He's just got a penalty, so it's actually an advantage for Epiloda here.
Yeah, it's actually good for Epiloda in the Williams. He might be able to make that move on the Red Bull without making the actual move. I mean, because Ruben's got that penalty, like you mentioned. So, Ruben loses the car a bit. Epiloda might get the opportunity to make the move. He's trying to go to the outside. Ruben defends, though. There's nothing that Epiloda can do, as he actually is going to send it down the inside into turn 20. Ruben goes for the switchback maneuver, though, as the two go side by side down the straight and up the hill to turn 1. But Epiloda has got the better straight line speed, and the DRS. Is Ruben going to send it? No, he's not. He's going to wait till the 2nd DRS zone and try and make the move on the the Williams driver, and this is the battle for P11 for no points, and this is just absolutely phenomenal. It's just proving how competitive this division is, and these drivers are just battling it out, just to battle it out, not even 4 points. This is absolutely incredible. So anyway, moving on to the top drivers here, as we see Bosler and Plex. Yeah, Plex is going to go for the overtake. Let's see if he goes for it. To the outside, he faked it to the inside. Plex is going to go for it round the outside of the Bosler. The two go side by side, but Plex eventually has to back out. He has to back out because the Bosler has got the position and keeps the position for now. Plex might have the opportunity down the DRS stretch, up the hill at turn 1. We'll find out if he's going to make that overtake onto Bosler, but will it be enough for him to get that position and get ahead of the AlphaTauri in time for him to gain 3 seconds for him to keep second position?
And 3 temps separate them now. There is now 4 laps to go. Slash still leading by 5.5 seconds. Nothing can stop this Williams driver as the rest fall behind, battling with each other and not Slash. Not the most ideal situation in the world, but hey, it's all good. It all makes a spectacle for us drivers, commentators, and spectators alike. As Plex approaches the S's, still 3 temps behind Devil. He's going to have to catch up and try and use that DRS down the back stretch as Oesi gets another penalty. Not ideal, actually the worst case scenario, because you might fall down you might not even get any points if you're not too careful. And no, the gap is now increased at second. It's now half a second. Not good for Plex. He's going to have to find some time through turn 11, and it's not. Devil's got a much better exit, and now Devil is just, all he has to do is fend him off, and Epilonder's got a 3-second penalty now. So this is, he's going to have to get past him on track if he wants to keep this. Meanwhile, Plex and Devil are still battling, and Christie joining in the fun too. But remember, he has penalties as well. He has 3 seconds of penalties. Actually, all of them, 3rd down to 6th, have 3 seconds of penalties. Can Christie spoil the party for Plex?
Yeah, Christie actually might be able to go for the podium here. He's currently down in P4, and he knows he could be getting P3 here today if he gets past Plex. All he's got to do is overtake Plex, but it's easier said than done, of course, as we move into lap 26. 3 laps to go of this United States Grand Prix, and this is going to come down to the wire for the battle for second position. Meanwhile, Robin West has gained 3, he's now got it to 3.6 seconds now to Jerome, so Robin West might be able to get into the fight, but I think those tires are going to start degrading now as the Bosler makes a little mistake, I think the Haas might be able to go for the overtake onto Bosler. Let's see how this works out. The two are so close together as the Bosler gets a 3-second time penalty. Whoa. This is going to affect everything.
Indeed it is. Plex and Christie have been thrown back into the game. Now they're all on a level playing field. Who is going to outbump who as they come through turn 10 for the 3rd to last time tonight? They make their way around turn 11. Now the big question, who will come out on top into turn number 12 as they come down? The DRS is switched on at full blast. Where is Plex going to end up? He's not close enough. Here comes Christie for a podium. Maybe.
3 wide.
3 wide into turn number 12, and it's Plex that comes out on top, and now Debo is falling down the order. He has to go for the dive, and he contacts with Christie, forces him wide, and now Plex, it's run clear.
Christie's going for it.
It's turn 15, they're side by side.
Oh, there's contact! No, Christie's off. He's out of the race. That's it for the Red Bull driver. Bosler and Christie made contact on lap 26. It was gonna end that way, unfortunately, and that is incredibly heartbreaking for Christie, who is battling for the podium now. Bosler down to P3. There was contact. Christie out of the race on lap 26, and this is insane stuff. As Plex and Bosler, I think, will finish in 2nd and 3rd position unless Jerome can get in the fight as well. But will Bosler get a penalty because of that? We have no idea.
Yeah, I think, so I do apologise for anyone's eardrums that burst. I could not believe that just happened. I think Devil went over the top with Christie. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but he did go a bit too far in trying to argy-bargy action. And it's Christie that's the heartbroken one. He will not score anything here from the Circuit of Americas tonight.
Yeah, that's incredibly unfortunate for Christie now, as there goes Jerome on De Bosler now. The Aston Martin is right behind De Bosler, and even if the penalty doesn't get awarded to De Bosler, Jerome wants to get this on track. De Bosler fighting everything he can to try and keep the position, but Jerome is to the inside. De Bosler tries to go around the outside of the Aston, gets ahead up into third position now. Jerome up into third, De Bosler down to fourth, and Jerome might have the opportunity on the final lap of the Grand Prix to make the move of the Haas of Plex. Let's see if he's going to be able to do this. This is dramatic stuff on the final lap of the Grand Prix. We are heading to Slash will start it. Plex in P2, Jerome in P3, De Bosler P4, and Robin West is right behind as well. But Jerome has the opportunity to go for the move on Plex. This is going to be mad interesting and incredibly epic to watch as we enter the final lap of the Grand Prix. 2 DRS zones to go. Plex leads us away. Jerome right behind, but he's too far behind of the Haas driver, so he's going to have one straight to go, and then it's just all down to the corners. So let's see how this works out as Plex leads away for the final time of this Grand Prix.
Here he comes in, come to the S's now. He cannot lose any time here, Jerome. This is his golden opportunity to snatch 12 points, second place, a podium, and best of the rest, with Slash running away with it now, 5.2 seconds. Nothing can stop him except Slash himself. He is slashed and thrashed to field, but meanwhile, Jerome is going for it all. Second place will feel like a win in his book if he can get past Plex down to turn number 12. This is it. This is his chance. Can he make the move? Here he goes. DRS on full blast. Go, 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 Jerome. Here goes. Plex is going to have to do everything in his book he can to defend Jerome, but Jerome around the outside and makes the move. Does he? No, quite. There it is.
He's got it.
He's at the second, and now Plex is going to have to try one massive dive if he wants to snatch second at the last possible moment. Can he? I think he might have to settle for third. You know, with that switchback, is he going to gain anything from that switchback? He might. He's closed up a bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. We're going to have to cut away now because Slash is going to come to the final corners and take a dominant win here and cut the gap to Epiloder, who's in 10th.
Slash wins the United States Grand Prix. What an epic finish for Slash. It's back-to-back victories here in PSGL, and what a finish for second position. Jerome wins out in P2. What a job by the Aston Martin driver. Plex, another P3 for the Haas driver, and it is a great performance by Plex as well. De Bosler P4, Robin West in P5, Artur Mello makes it up to P6, OSC in the AlphaTauri P7 with Nick Kenshin, Luca Rosman completing the top 10, and that is going to be the finishers. But Slash, a dominant victory here today. It is back-to-back victories, and like you said, he closes the fight, he closes the action, and now he is closer to his championship contender, El Piloto, his teammate, in fact, as well. And we head into Imola with Slash in contention for the championship.
This championship is wide open, and I've only seen one race of it. Can you believe it?
Wow. Yep. I mean, what a race. That was incredible. And like you mentioned, I mean, the championship is wide open as we head into Imola. 2 rounds to go. By my calculations, I think it will be decided in Bahrain, but we still will get an epic fight in Imola. But I gotta say, we gotta comment on this one. What a race here in the US. I think that was the most entertaining race I've ever commentated here at the United States Grand Prix. Slash is your winner here today in Williams. It's back-to-back victories. He won in Singapore. He wins now in the USA as it looks like also Jerome will grab P2 with a last lap pass on Plex. Plus grabs P3 with a dominant performance. De Bosler P4. Robin West completes the top 5. And I just gotta say one more time, viewers, what a race. Absolutely phenomenal. Jerome from 8th to 2nd, great job from him. Robin West from 13th to 5th with the fastest lap as well. Aston Martin have done a great job in this one. Wow. And also Artur Mello from 14th to 6th position. What a great job from him as well. Robin West and Artur Mello definitely have that possible driver of the day. But I gotta ask Logan, what do you think of that Grand Prix? Just give us all your thoughts on that one.
Insane! It was a race for second place, but a really good race for second place. Jerome taking it at the last. His perseverance has paid off. He's got second place, and with Robin West getting 5th and the fastest lap, tonight's biggest winners are the Aston Martins by 1 point. Williams did get 1st and 9th, that's 18. and they pretty much have closed up their own championship, drivers' championship race. It's now 2 points between Slash, who is in second, and Epilode. Actually, no, sorry, I do apologise. 4 points. I've done a miscalculation there. It's 4 points between Epiloder and Slash, so it's all to play for going into the final 2 rounds. Imola and Sakir. Of course, you gotta wait for those two. Actually, we're gonna have to wait a little while because there's a break next week.
There is a break next week. Yep, we will have a break before heading to Imola, so the drivers will be able to calm down from that one. So we'll see how that works out. But now I think it is time for the interviews. We're going to get our 3 drivers in here as we do every week. Logan, would you mind inviting our top 3 drivers in here for a quick interview?
I will do indeed. Let me just get 1 second.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And while Logan's doing that, wow, I just got to say, what a race. Viewers, thank you so much for joining us for that one. I hope you guys enjoyed that race. Smash the like button if you did. That would be much appreciated. Stick around, though, because we're going to hear from our top 3 drivers. We're first going to hear from the Haas of Plex, if we can get them all in here for a quick interview here for the United States Grand Prix. And I really want to see what Jerome has to say about that last lap. And Plex as well, if we can get them both in here, that would be great to talk about that final lap and how tense that truly was. But we'll see. We'll get those 3 drivers in here for today's race if they can join. Some of them may be busy with other stuff, so they may have to leave. But wow, what a race. And as we did mention, if you are going to be joining us for the Imola race, definitely do that, but it is not going to be next week. It is going to be the week after. As we said, as Logan and myself did, we will have a break due to the events of the Miami Grand Prix, due to its being on a similar time to the PSGL races. So yeah, that's why we're postponing or having a break, I guess, till the Imola race at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. But yeah, I think we're just waiting for our 3 drivers to get in here. Logan, were you able to invite all 3?
I'm just about to.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And viewers, just stick around for a bit. We are going to get those 3 drivers in here. We'll get some, we'll have them join in a moment. But wow, what a race. That was absolutely phenomenal.
Alright, I have added them all. Hopefully they will come in ASAP.
Awesome. Alright, yep, and to the 3 drivers, if you're listening right now on stream, definitely join the party. You should have been getting an invite from Logan, so you guys can join there. If we can get you all 3 in here, that would be great, but we'll see.
Yeah, can I just make a comment about your commentary?
Of course.
How much energy do you have? How much Mountain Dew have you had? Or Red Bull, I should say.
Well, I try my best, you know. That's my goal, is to try my best and give as much energy as possible into each and every commentary that I do. I prepare every morning for this, actually.
Oh yes, because they show the Grand Prix in the mornings, don't they?
Yes, they do. And here in the US, it's in the morning for me here. But yeah, you mentioned my commentary. Well, I gotta mention yours as well. I want to say thank you so much for commenting with me. That was some awesome commentary, and I really hope we could do that again, because that was phenomenal from you. Well done.
Yeah, it all depends on how many people show up for F3 next week.
Well, we'll hope that the attendance returns, as that's why Logan was able to join us, guys, because I do believe F3 was canceled due to low attendance, but hopefully it will return, of course, because I'm sure you would like to return commentating there.
Yeah, show up, darn it! But yeah, it's quite disappointing not to do it tonight, but you know, can't do much. I do believe we have one of our drivers in it.
And who has joined the party?
I believe it's Plex.
Awesome. Hello, Plex. I think we're gonna start off with you as we approach the interviews here. So I guess I'll ask the first question. So I want to say congrats on P3 first off. You joined us once again in the interview box as you were here last time out in Singapore. Just kind of give us your thoughts on that race. How did your Grand Prix go? And also, if you can, talk to us about that final lap.
Yeah, so first of all, qualifying, a bit disappointed. of my lap because like my fastest lap was my first lap. So yeah, so I did a really good first lap on those soft tires, and I waited for like the last moment to get out of the pits, and for my final lap, unfortunately I spawned. So yeah, so I couldn't beat that time. So unfortunately I go I think P6 or P7. I
P6.
take yeah P6, thank you. I take a good start. I won one place, so I'm P5, and yeah, after I try to follow the people and then like attack when I could, and then I saw I think it was like the AlphaTauri and the Aston Martin that blocked one lap earlier than us, so I
Yeah.
tried to cover their strategy, but unfortunately they both passed me. So then my goal was to pass the Aston Martin as fast as I could, and that's what I did. And then just like try to stay behind the AlphaTauri because I knew like I had way more straight line speed than him. So I was just like saving my US, and then like just waiting behind him. And unfortunately, I take that penalty, and then I was just like hoping to see them get a penalty too, and that's what happened. Like they all got a penalty. So yeah, after it was like just on track, and I just tried to follow the AlphaTauri, but at the end the Red Bull tried to attack me, so I was forced to get that second place. And at the end, the Aston Martin had like way more pace than me, so it was really hard to defend, and I tried my best, but yeah, my toes were completely gone. So yeah, it was too difficult to stay away, to stay
Yeah.
in front of him. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you had a great race. It sounds like there were some ups and downs kind of thing. And that final lap as well was, I'm sure, very intense for you. But you still came away with a podium, which is, I'm sure, very great. You know, you got some decent points, and I'm sure that you'll be happy with P3. But I want to ask another question before I hand off to Logan to ask the questions. What are you feeling about the next race in Imola? We're heading to the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix for round 14. How are you feeling about that race?
Yeah, I really like that track. Like it's like one of my best track. So yeah, I'll see if I
Amazing
can.
track.
Yeah, I'll see if I can like drive next week. But I'll see like yeah, I'll try my best and maybe like get another podium or a win. So
Well, all the best for the race in Imola, and congrats on P3 as well here in US. So I'm going to hand off the questions to Logan now, and yeah.
I've run out of questions. You asked them all. I was going to
Oh,
ask about Emilia Romagna. Oh well, but I just want to say well done, Plex. You know, it was a tough race out there, especially for second place. It was fantastic to watch, and you did very well to get into the podium. It was a very tough job to get there, especially with Christie going out. You know, it changed the game pretty much. So, and all the penalties going around the place too, dished out like confetti. It was exciting to watch, and thank you for providing a great race. So well done.
thank you.
And now on to our winner. I do not believe we can get Jerome. I can't get Jerome. I've tried to invite him, but yeah, he's not shown up. So we're gonna go to our winner tonight, and cutting the gap to Epiloader to 4 points. Slash.
Hello.
Now we need to talk about Epiloader and Ruben. Epiloader was defending Ruben like crazy. Too much, I'd have to say. It caused damage to Ruben, and Epiloader actually got spun off early in the race, so his race was already ruined from the word go. But yeah, that was. I know I shouldn't really say it, we should be congratulating win, but I've got to ask, that must have been a bit of controversy there, and it could have pretty much. Because, of course, they wanted to cut the gap, didn't they, from you and Ruben?
Yeah, I think at that point, Ippolito was like a pit stop down, and he
Yeah, he
allowed me
was.
through, and then
course.
because of the spin, so
Yeah.
he let me through, and then when Ruben was behind, like I think Epilotto like he defended like at the right point, but I think Ruben was because of the like the difference between the both tires. I think because I heard in the party that he hit in the back of Epilotto, so Ruben hit in the back. So I didn't know what happened at that point, but I was like trying to create a gap, and then yeah, but yeah. It's good. I took a good advantage over these guys. Both of them, their mistakes or misfortunes, I'll say. But yeah, it's good for me, and because then like the next track is like it's not a strong track for me, so it's good that I got the maximum points today, apart from the fastest lap.
Yeah, well, you did everything you had to do, so well done on that. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of words said between you, Epiloder, and Ruben about what happened there. I'm not going to be surprised if there's going to be any penalties dished out to any drivers involved in any accidents tonight. So I'm not going to say names because it could be anyone. Have to go to the stewards box, of course. It is always open for discussion. But meanwhile, I don't think you did anything wrong, but complete the race, so well done on getting a very important 16 points tonight. Not the fastest lap, it was taken by Robin Wes, so it's only 4 points. How are you feeling about the title race now? With 2 rounds to go, 4 points. It's anyone's game now?
We'll see, because I know the next track, Ipolotto's really strong at, so... So now it's like the other way around now. Now it's damage limitation for me. Like to see if I can just make sure I like try to challenge him or get like near to where he finished, because I know for like the last track it's like where I'm really strong. So it's more like now one track I'm weak at, and then the other and all the rest of this like whole break ever since Netherlands until now I've been really strong at. So we'll wait and see.
Okay, so interesting situation now. So once again, you have really etched a massive gap. You've reduced the massive gap down to 4. Here's Jerome. Just sorry to cut you off. But yes, well done tonight. Do we have any questions from Jonah for our winner tonight?
I think I just wanted. I think you pretty much covered everything, actually. So I just want to say. Yeah. Well, I just want to say. Slash, really well done today. You've had an amazing race, and I think, like I said in Singapore, a dominant victory, a really consistent drive, and just another good one. But I know you said, I was hearing, you said that Imola is not your strongest track, but I hope you can still get some points in that one, because I know you have the potential, and I know you have the opportunity to win the championship, and I'm sure that would mean a lot to you. So... yeah, all the best for the future, mate, on the next 2 rounds in Imola and Bahrain as well, and all the best.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, well, I guess we move into our second place finisher of the race, Jerome, who did join us just now. Jerome, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Okay, well, you grabbed P2 and gave us... one great commentary action to commentate on there on the final lap of the Grand Prix. So I want to say, first off, thank you for giving us one of the best last laps to commentate on I've done in my commentary career. But yeah, going on to your race, how are you feeling about T2? You made a last lap overtake on Plex to take the second position in the Grand Prix, and just talk us through your race.
Well, first of all, very glad to hear that you guys seem to enjoy giving commentary on this race.
Oh, yes.
From my end, qualifying wasn't great, and I was looking to be somewhere in the 0.1 or 0.2 regions, but I invalidated my last quali lap on the penultimate corner just by a little millimeter, so I was relatively far down. Then, yeah, to be honest, the first 2 laps I didn't really feel that confident and made a mistake as well, which cost me a position, so I think I was down at P10, like basically lost the soft runners at one point. And then, yeah, just kept a calm head and decided to just save the tire, save a bit of ERS, and then slowly start picking them off, let others make mistakes, and put some others under pressure as well to let them make mistakes. And yeah, I think by the end of the first stint I was somewhere P7. Then decided to go for an undercut, which really gained me a lot of positions, and yeah, then a sort of next difficult phase came where we had to cut through the alternative strategy runners, and I think I did really well to stay with the Buzelara and Plagues throughout all that battling there. And yeah, overall I'm like really satisfied with this race. Especially, I thought it was sort of game over when I picked up the 3 seconds, but fortunately everyone around me picked up the 3 seconds as well.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you had a great race. It sounds like everything worked out really well for you. P2 at the end of the day. And yeah, wow, what a race. Really incredible job today. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to hand off the questions down to Logan. And I think after that, we're going to end off the stream.
Yes, Jerome, you saw, I think you must have saw Christie's crash with, who was it? Was it, yeah, Devil.
The Beaujolais.
Devil. Yeah, the Beaujolais was involved in a lot of scraps tonight, I have to say. Yeah, I noticed you were keeping really cool behind the wheel after seeing everything unfold in front of you. Was that the goal, just to stay behind and let them duke it out and force them into a mistake?
Well, basically, when I was third in a DRS train, I wanted to ideally move up to second place, and I think I got that opportunity, but then got some sort of oversteer moment, like start of sector 3, and dropped down to fourth in the DRS train. And at that point, I just decided basically to save ERS and save tires again, and let the others scrap away. And yeah, basically I just had 80% at the start of the second last lap, so I could just push on the ERS for the last 2 laps. And regarding that incident, yeah, I saw they were battling away quite a lot, and from my point of view, it really didn't seem like it was anything that would have caused such a massive incident, but I guess with this handling model in this game, Chrissy just got rocked out, basically.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've got to say, you did very well to get all the way from, was it, when did you start again, 8 for something?
Yep, started P8.
Yeah, 8. That's a really big achievement, I have to say. Got yourself a solid second place. I'm sure it'll feel like a win in your book, considering that Slash was slashing the field, I have to say. Sorry for the pun.
Yeah, perfect race on my end.
Brilliant. Well, I will let you get some rest and let you recharge a whole week because you get to watch Miami. I know that we've never seen the track, and I know some people are like not so with the track, but I say let's see if it provides some excitement. Never judge a book by its cover. I honestly can't wait. The vibes is pretty insane, and yeah, I like that fake marina they've got there. I'm probably going to jump into the pool. Oh wait, hold on.
I hope they'll actually put some water in there.
They didn't. They didn't. It's a fake water. It's kind of like the fake mural they had at Monaco when they were building something near the tunnel. It's that, but it's worse.
Yeah, let's give it a try.
It has no meaning. Yeah, right. But yeah, apart from that, well done tonight, and of course we'll see you in 2 weeks. Not next week, obviously. We'll see you in 2 weeks in Imola, Italy.
Thanks, and the commentary is much appreciated. I'll watch it. I'll give it a watch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm normally not here, so ignore me. I'm in F3.
I mean, commentators in every tier are always appreciated, so...
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'm just doing my job, so I don't expect much. But thank you again. So, but yeah, well done to all our drivers tonight. I think that's a good place to close it off, don't you think, Jonah?
I think so, yeah. I think that ends off the PSGL United States Grand Prix round 13 of the F8 Championship. This is the PlayStation division as well, viewers. So I think that's going to conclude things. Like Logan said, thank you to all the drivers that raced. Really good racing today. And Logan as well, thank you so much for commentating with me. It's been a pleasure, and I hope we can do it in the future.
I hope we can do it in the future as well. Maybe in a different division full time, perhaps.
Possibly. We'll see how that goes. We'll see that if that road takes us there. All right. Well, yeah, I think that's going to conclude things. Viewers, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to PSGL. Like this video if you enjoyed it as well. That really does help us out. And just once again, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix and 2 rounds left of the PSGL Season 30. We'll see you in Imola in 2 weeks' time. But from myself, former Jonah, and from Logan as well, we're signing off from the USA. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Night.